Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Football. This is the Match Day 8 UCL Fantasy Team Selection. Now, I'll be going through how my team did in Match Day 7, and then I'll be giving you guys my plans for Match Day 8 and what you should do and what you shouldn't do in terms of taking too many risks heading into Match Day 9. Let me know how many points you scored in Match Day 7 and how your team is looking for Match Day 8. Are you playing a chip like a wildcard or limitless? If you are, I already did a couple of videos for that. I'll link them at the end of this video. But first, let's go through how my team did in Match Day 7. Now, it wasn't the best week at all. My captains did not deliver at all, and that is the first big issue for different captains. All of them did not deliver. I had Haaland as captain. He blanked. I think I also had Kane as captain. He blanked. Obviously, I had Saka on the last day, blanked as well. And do I even remember the last one? I don't even remember the last captain, but yeah, I had 4 captains and all of them blanked. It might have been maybe Thuram of Inter Milan or something like that, but all of them blanked. All 4 of my captains blanked, and that left me with a score of 43. I think that's the second lowest I've had this season, and that saw me dropping in rank from around 1,000 to 6,000. So not the greatest week. Hopefully for match day 8, I'm able to bounce back to 2,000 or 1,000 there, hopefully, but a lot of things have to go my way. So how is my team looking like ahead of match day 8? But before that, in match day 7, obviously Arsenal conceded late on. Saliba almost had the clean sheet. Jan Sommer was my best performer next to Foden. Foden had 11 points. Sommer had 6 points. I was a bit unlucky with Grealish getting subbed off with an injury very, very early on. But hey, there's still a chance to bounce back in match day 8. They didn't expect Haaland and Kane to both blank against Copenhagen and also Lazio. But for match day 8, this is how the team is looking at the moment. I'll be telling you guys what I'm planning to do. So you are given 3 transfers for this match day. You're allowed 3 transfers heading into the second leg of the round of 16 fixtures. I think 3 transfers is enough, unless like you got a player who got a red card and then you had a couple more that got injured, like a Grealish and a Thuram and players like that. But I think 3 transfers should be enough. And there are players who are now back from injuries, players like Bellingham. So I'll be going through all that. But first, let me start with how my team is looking for match day 8. So in goal is still the same. I have Ramiro starting. Defensively, Nathan Ake, Saliba, and also Rom. Now, I'll be telling you guys the players I'm thinking of removing from my team. Foden, Saka, Grealish, Odegaard in midfield, and then Rodrigo, Haaland, Kane. On the bench is still the same: Soma, Thuram, Cancelo, and Di Lorenzo. So first of all, I am loving the team. There's not too many risks. There's a couple of players who are injured, but there's not too many risks in terms of this. Now, you don't want to go into match day 8 with like 7-8 players who are currently losing their fixture or anything like that. For example, even Arsenal is an example. You don't want to have like 4 Arsenal players, and then you have like 1 Copenhagen player, and then you also have like 2 Inter Milan players, or not 2 Inter Milan players, 2 Atletico Madrid players. Too many risks. Because, for example, let's use Arsenal and Man City as an example. If Arsenal and Man City are definitely going to go through, but let's just use them as an example. Let's say they were losing like 2-2, 3-0, and then you went for them. Like if Man City and Arsenal, you had 4 players from each of those teams, and then both of them go out in this round, you'll need 8 transfers to sort out your team for the next round, and you're only allowed 5 transfers heading into the quarterfinals. So you'll get yourself into a bit of a problem. So what you need to do right now, if you, for example, you had which team lost the heaviest in match day 7? Let's say you had 4 Copenhagen players, and you still want those Copenhagen players, you have to try and at least remove a couple of them this ahead of the second leg of the round of 16, because heading into the quarterfinal, they're definitely going to be eliminated. You don't want to get yourself into too much trouble. So you need to start getting rid of the players you're expecting to go out, or players who are injured, or players who are suspended and stuff like that. So for my team, how many certainties are there in my team that are definitely going to go through? I think the Man City players will go through, so 4 of them we are safe with that. All 4 of them are going through. Madrid, not guaranteed, but I'm expecting Rodrigo to go through, so that is 5 players. 1 of Cancelo and Di Lorenzo will go through because they're playing against each other, so that is 6. Soma is currently leading his fixture, that is 7. And the others, I'm kind of expecting to go through. I'm expecting Kane to win the game. It's only a 1-0 deficit, so I'm expecting him to go through. And for Arsenal as well, it's only a 1-0 deficit. I'm expecting them to go through as well. So if all things go to plan, I'll have around like 11 players or 12 players for the quarterfinals, and then plus 5 transfers, which I can make. But there's no guarantee. There's still players, the Inter Milan players could still go out. The Arsenal players could still go out. Di Lorenzo as well could still go out. It's all about how you balance the team, but it's very, very tricky. It's still very tricky. You never know. That's why, like, for example, if you had your wildcard until now, it can actually help you heading into the quarterfinals if too many results are surprising results in the round of 16. But for me, I am happy with this team. But which kind of transfers am I looking to make? Now, obviously, as I said, Thuram is currently injured, but the first player I'm looking to bring in is Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham is back. He's back from an injury. He's been out for almost a month or 3 weeks or something like that. So I'm looking to bring him back to the team. And I have to take someone out. I have to take someone out to bring in Jude Bellingham. And who am I going to take out? So the players I'm thinking of potentially taking out, there are 2 midfielders. One is Thuram, who's currently injured. So Thuram could end up leaving my team for Jude Bellingham, but the money is I will need money because I only have 0.3 in the bank, so I'll need to get that money elsewhere. But let me tell you the transfers I'm thinking of making fast. So I will potentially make a couple of them on the deadline stream. Make sure to join that one. But first one is Bellingham to come on for either Thuram if he's still injured. We'll hear more information by tomorrow. The bad thing is that Inter Milan are not playing until next week, so that's the problem. The following week. Grealish could also leave my team, depending on what happens against Man United on Sunday and what we hear by Tuesday morning. But it's very I think it could be possible because Man City are playing in the first week. You might hear players who are injured or players who could make the Champions League team, the starting lineup of the squad. So Grealish could potentially leave my team as well, or maybe Foden. Maybe Foden plays 90 minutes against Man United, and then we hear by Monday that he's going to be rested against Copenhagen. Then he could potentially leave my team as well, and that could allow me to bring in Bellingham without too much headache if Foden is the one who's not playing. But for Bellingham, I'm thinking of either taking out Thuram, Grealish, or Foden. But Bellingham will definitely be in my team. Second up, I'm thinking of bringing in another Arsenal player. Yes, I'm very confident, although Arsenal is trailing 1-0. But as I said, we have 5 transfers for the quarterfinals. So if Arsenal goes out, I have those 4 transfers, and then take out one of Cancelo and Di Lorenzo, and then potentially head into the quarterfinals with like 13 players or something if worst comes to worst. So I'm thinking of either bringing in Ben White for Rome if I have enough money, or Gabriel for Rome if I have enough money, or potentially taking off Grealish for Rice, who's on set pieces and he's getting assists and he can get recovery points in midfield and all that. So he could potentially enter my team. I was also thinking of Vinicius, but Vinicius is a lot of money. I'd have to switch my team around. I'd potentially have to take off Odegaard or take out Odegaard, bring in a very cheaper midfielder, and then take out Rodrigo and move to Vinicius, which I think is kind of a sideways move. Although I think Vinicius will score more, is like 2 or 3 million more expensive than Rodrigo, which is I think Vinicius is 11.1 and Rodrigo is 9.2. So yeah, almost 2 million more expensive, and getting that money right now is very, very difficult. But those are the transfers I'm looking to make. By Monday, by Tuesday, I'll have a better idea. Make sure to join the deadline stream on Tuesday. Hopefully, hear something to do with the Man City team news, and we'll also know more about Real Sociedad in Paris Saint-Germain in terms of their lineups, and Bayern and Lazio, because their lineups will have come out by then. So it's a tough situation. Let me know how your team is looking in a confident spot. Are you potentially looking to bring in players like Sane or differential from PSV, Dortmund, any of those players? In terms of my captaincy, on the Tuesday, I'm thinking of just captaining Kane. On the Wednesday, whoever starts for Man City, Foden starts, are particularly going to captain him or Haaland. You're allowed to go for differentials on the Tuesday, on the Wednesday. But for Wednesday, if Haaland is playing, I'm just going to captain Haaland. But if he's not, then you can go for differential like an Alvarez. On the Tuesday, I'm definitely going to captain Saka if none of my captains return by then. And then on the Wednesday, I'm going to captain, I don't know, maybe Ansom or something, hopefully, because we don't have too many Inter Milan players or Atletico Madrid players by then. Maybe Griezmann could end up being in my team. Who knows? Let's wait and see by then. So lastly, let's go to my predictions for match day 8. So these are my predictions for match day 8. I've gone for Real Sociedad to draw with PSG 1-1. That will mean PSG go through 3-1 on aggregate. I've gone for Bayern Munich to beat Lazio 2-1 in 90 minutes, and then Bayern Munich to add another goal in extra time to win it 3-1 on aggregate. Man City against Copenhagen, I've gone for a 3-0 win. That will mean 6-1 on aggregate. And then the last game on the first week, Real Madrid Leipzig, I've gone for a 3-2 Real Madrid win, which will mean they've won it 4-2. In the following week, if I can find the following week, let's see. I've gone for Barcelona to beat Napoli 2-1, which will mean Barcelona go through 3-2 on aggregate. I've gone for Arsenal to beat FC Porto 3-0, which will mean 3-1 to Arsenal on aggregate. I've gone for a 1-1 draw between Dortmund and PSV, which will mean extra time, and I can even see penalties, maybe Dortmund winning on penalties. And then Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan, I've gone for a 1-1 draw, which means Inter Milan will win it 2-1 on aggregate. So you're allowed to disagree, absolutely no problem. Let me know what you make of that. Let me know what you make of those predictions and how the team is looking. Are you feeling confident ahead of match day 8? Let me know. So as always, deadline stream on Tuesday. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.